You'll be coming to my wedding too, right, Emmy? I made sure to send you an invitation as well.
Well, of course I'm coming. And now that we're talking about your wedding, have you gone and picked out what dress you're going to wear on your special day, Monica?
Yep, I've already decided.
And that dress isn't some kind of a raggedy dress, right?
Raggedy? I'm sure I already explained this to you before, but that dress is a family heirloom. I'm sure that the design is pretty old compared to what people wear today, but I think it looks beautiful.
No way. No way. This wedding is going to be all about you, Monica. There are plenty of really cute rental dresses that you could be choosing from. Yet you want to use that old and smelly dress? Your family is very wealthy, right? Why don't you have them pay for you to get a dress of your own design made? And then, when your wedding is over with, you can give me that dress, please. Just as long as the design you choose for your dress is something I really like.
I'm sorry, but I'm sticking with my family's dress. You can continue telling me to get a modern and fresh dress all you want, but I plan on wearing the heirloom dress, and that's final.
You have all that money at your disposal, yet you want to act like a penny pincher? You're so done for. All I've been trying to do is give you the advice you need in order to avoid becoming embarrassed.
Embarrassed?
If you wear that old and stinky dress at that wedding, you're going to be embarrassing my brother. And not only my brother, but the rest of his family, and your family as well. Is that something you're really wanting to do to everyone?
I really don't think you need to be saying something like that.
No, I have to say something like that. Because if I don't, you're going to make the wrong choice and ruin everyone's day. Oh, that's right. I plan on giving a little performance at the wedding as well. So please, look forward to what I have in mind. I'm sure it's going to make everyone laugh. And you might even get a kick out of it too. Monica, are you not coming back to the wedding venue anymore? If the main star of the show isn't going to stick around, then this whole wedding is going to be ruined.
How can you be so calm after what's just happened to me? Do you not have any thoughts going through your head right now that maybe you did something very wrong? And not even maybe, because you did do something completely unacceptable.
Is this about that cake I threw into your face? That was just a simple performance I gave. I told you already that I had a performance to give you on your wedding day, right? And look, it even made my older brother who was standing right next to you laugh.
And his reaction was also uncalled for. Jake, what's happened with him? Is he still with you?
Jake? He just started to think about the face you made again and is laughing his butt off.
That asshole. People like you. Why did it take me having to put together a whole wedding to realize the kind of people you all are?
Say whatever you'd like, just as long as you hurry up and get back here. Just change your dress or something, and put on some new makeup while you're at it.
Things aren't going to be that simple anymore, Emmy. Because of you, my dress is completely covered in cake and is pretty much ruined.
You're still going to get all worried about an old dress like that? It's fine. Just throw the dang thing into the closet trash can and get back here. It's not like you're going to be wearing that thing anymore, right?
I'm not going back to that place.
Huh? What are you saying there then, Monica? You're already in your 30s and are getting married finally. So don't start saying very regretful things like that, you old hag. Or could it be this? Do you need me to apologize for what happened before you can come back? Well, I'm so sorry for throwing a massive cake into your face on your wedding day. But come on now. Everyone in the place was laughing, so that means the performance I put on was a hit, right?
I'm not going to forgive you for what you did, and that apology was the most shallow thing I've heard from you so far, so I'm not accepting it. I'll have you know that my whole family is heading home now. You and your family can decide what to do after everyone on my side of the family is gone.
You're so narrow-minded. I am being so apologetic right now as well. And by the way, abandoning your own wedding after it's already started makes for a bad wife.
Are you all right, Monica? Have you had a chance to calm down any?
Yes, I just got back home now and am calming down.
I'm really happy that after something like that, you got the chance to go back home.
And I'd love to stick around, but I think that I should start grabbing all my things and getting myself ready to leave this place. Jake already told me that he's heading back to his parents' house now. So this is my only chance to get out of this house.
You make a very good point. If you'd like, I can be over there tomorrow to help out. Would you want that?
No, you don't have to. I don't have all that much stuff in this house right now.
As long as you think you can handle all of that, then that's fine. What I'd like to know now is what the hell happened here? Even Jake was standing there laughing at you, and not a single person from his family came up to apologize to you after.
I know. I'm at a loss of words right now. I should have been more careful. Up until now, Jake and his whole family all seemed like really good people. I mean, I suppose that Emmy's always been a bit of a problem child, but at the very least, Jake and his mother were both such kind people to me.
I'm sure they were at the time. I even assumed they were all great people when we got together to meet one another for the first time. And yet now?
Is Grandma okay? Oh, she's not in complete shock because of all this.
I don't think she's in shock anymore. Rather, she's just furious about what happened now, and I'm with her on that.
I'm sure the both of you are.
Monica, I just wanted to say that you were not to blame for any of this. So please, don't get down about any of it, and start doing the things that you have to do.
All right, thank you, Mom.
Monica, are you seriously going to divorce my older brother now? You had your wedding with him yesterday, right?
I'm serious about the divorce. He sat there and watched the woman he said he supposedly loved take a cake to her face. And instead of coming to comfort and help, he stood there laughing like he didn't even know me. I think it's going to be pretty much impossible for me to live the rest of my life with a man like that now.
Well, you wanting a divorce is totally fine with me. But Monica, you know what this means, right?
What means?
If you're going to be the one pushing for a divorce, then that means you're the one at fault, right? You'll have to pay a settlement to my brother, all right? And since your family is loaded with money, you'll have to make sure to pay him a lot.
So you're going to say that I'm the one at fault for this and then shift the blame onto me? Please, don't get involved in something like this, Emmy, because you have no idea what you're talking about.
You were the head of the show last night, and yet you ran off. And instead of coming back to finish up the wedding like a good sport, you left the whole wedding entirely, right?
And the ones who ended up ruining the whole wedding were you guys, right? And you can't keep using the excuse of being drunk to fight back. You think drunk drivers get away with excuses like that?
Why are you getting all upset now? I said this yesterday, but what I did got everyone laughing, so what is the problem here?
You thought you got everyone laughing? Did you not hear all the gasps from everyone then? That was not everyone laughing about what you did to me, but everyone in shock as they watched the bride take a cake to the face.
Wow, you older women really have a lot of issues with being hysteric. I'm kind of happy now that you're no longer going to be my older sister.
I feel the same way. I'm so happy that you no longer have to be my sister-in-law. But there's still a lot left to do with you, like chewing you out for what you did. I already had a talk with Jake about how unacceptable he was acting, but you played a part in this and need to be held responsible for that. You can act like you were drunk or didn't mean any harm, but that's not going to help you any.
Sure. I love listening to sore losers cry. Congratulations on getting that divorce you were wanting. I no longer have to call you my family, right?
What do you want from me? I no longer have the patience to sit here and listen to you go on and on about meaningless crap since you're no longer family to me.
Oh, come on now. Don't be such a stick in the mud. From what Jake has been telling me, you've been completely ignoring all his calls and text. You can't just cut him off like that the moment you get a divorce, all right?
I'm not ignoring him because I want to. I'm ignoring him because he keeps going on about some of the most ridiculous things that I'm having a hard time understanding.
You can cut it out with the excuses now. How about you just give him what he is asking for, Monica?
So you're telling me you actually understand what he's saying? We weren't even married for a month, and yet he's asking me to give him half of my savings as part of a splitting of our properties.
I know that. And what about him asking that is ridiculous or wrong to you?
When it comes to something like the shared properties of a married couple, such as their house and their money, that only applies to things earned or bought after the marriage. In other words, any kind of savings and such that was obtained before the marriage is off limits.
What? But Jake told me that he'd be getting at least half from you. He told me that you had so much money in your savings that he couldn't even count it, and that once you guys got the divorce, he'd be able to get half of it. And that's why we made it easy for you to get that divorce you were talking about. I believed he was telling me the truth about getting half of your money, and that's why I went and threw the cake at you.
You guys made it easy for me to divorce Jake? What are you talking about?
From the start, my brother was never into you like that. He never loved you, and he sure as hell wasn't wanting to get married to a woman like you. But he was aware of the money you have. So the plan was for him to marry you, and then immediately divorce you after. And once that happened, he would get access to half of everything you have, including your money. He told me it was the easiest play in the book.
So that's what this was all about? I see. Well, that's too bad. Just like I was explaining to you, things like my savings from before we got married are off limits to him now.
No way. I was told by Jake that we'd be getting hundreds of thousands from you, so I could buy whatever I wanted to. And that's why I went out and bought all of the high-end jewelry I had been wanting. Yet now, I'm having to be told the truth by you? Monica, you went and lied to the both of us.
I don't even remember a thing about me lying to you. This is all because of you not doing your own research and just blindly believing whatever your older brother told you. And where you've ended up now is exactly where you deserve to be. Sucks that you went out and spent all that money on jewelry, but that's your problem, not mine.
Then you don't have to give us that money through the divorce, but as a settlement.
If you would like me to pay you guys a settlement, then get yourself a lawyer and take me to court over it. Although I'm not sure there are going to be any lawyers fighting for you with the reasons you both have.
Why not?
Because based off what you just told me, you are never going to be winning a case against me. Lawyers aren't some kind of superhero, you know. You'd be asking them to change something that is naturally black into something that's naturally white. And that's almost impossible.
God damn it. Well, whatever. I have something else up my sleeve. This is Jake's little sister, Emmy. I was able to get your number from my brother, and so I decided to text you with it. And you are Monica's mother, right?
Emmy, what do you want with me? After what you did to my daughter, I don't see how you have any nerve to be talking with me right now.
I have something to ask you, and that's why I needed to text you. Because Monica is such a stinky little jerk. Jake and I aren't able to get any of her savings or a settlement from her. As a wealthy woman yourself, you would never allow her to be so stingy, right?
I'm not really sure what basis you have for saying something like that, but I have heard a lot from Monica today. All you guys think about is money and nothing else, right? I wonder why she was never able to realize that before getting married to your greedy brother. I should have been able to notice something myself, actually. There were all those moments before Jake and her got married, and even then I didn't notice a thing. Had I known that when you guys were after, I would have saved my daughter from staining her reputation in a way.
It really does stink that you guys were never able to notice what we were planning. Now, how was it? Jake's and my fine performance.
You are all fools, acting like you couldn't make money through something like hard work and patience. You are more than welcome to call this family wealthy. But because of our wealth, that has done nothing but bring sadness upon my daughter in so many ways. She has been lied to before by plenty of men, and led to believe things that were never true in the end. And when she finally found a man she truly felt would not care about things like her family's wealth, she married him, only to find out soon after that he was the worst of them all. And that's your brother Jake I'm talking about. We even made sure to look into your brother to see if he has any prior issues, but he had a clean slate. That's why my husband and I allowed him to marry her. But now we've learned that it wasn't just him behind all of this, but you and the rest of your filthy family as well.
I don't think you should be calling all of us filthy like that. We weren't trying to fool you all or anything. It's just that Jake, myself, and the rest of the family wanted to make you guys our never-ending line of cash.
Whichever way you put it, you guys were only in this so that you could use my daughter. You guys thought you had her in the bag too after Jake and her went to the courthouse and all started to buy so many expensive things, thinking you'd get her money.
So you heard about that little detail as well then? Well, that's right. I went and got myself a bunch of jewelry, and Jake got himself a brand new supercar. All things to make us look rich. So all we just need you guys to do is pay up. And that can be with a settlement, or with half of Monica's money, or with a donation event. It doesn't matter how you do it, just as long as we get our money, please.
You have no clue what you're even going on about. If you had any common sense at all, and put that to good use here, you'd understand that it's Monica who has the right to get a settlement from you.
What? What are you wanting to say there?
Did you guys forget that the wedding, which took place a couple of days ago, was paid for by us?
Now that you mention it, I do remember hearing something like that. But what does that have to do with anything?
Right now, we are talking with a lawyer regarding what's happened. And if we are able to prove that you and Jake are at fault, we will be able to make the both of you pay for everything.
Huh? You're kidding, right? We'd have to pay for everything? How much would that be?
We went ahead and made this wedding as expensive as possible, as was Jake's request. So you're looking at $50,000.
We have no way of paying that kind of money. Are you a freaking dumbass?
Excuse me? Is that what you call yourself now? I kind of like that name. Dumbass. Well, it suits you and your brother perfectly after what kind of foolish crap you pulled without even putting a thought into what the outcome would be. I'll start calling you Dumbass 1, and your brother can be Dumbass 2.
This is why I hate old bitches like you, always taking little cracks at people like that. I'm being yelled at by my mom and dad now. They are all blaming me for being the reason they all have to pay for the whole wedding. I am the whole reason things turned out like this, because of me throwing that cake in your face. That was what my brother told me to do to you, though, and my parents all agreed with it. They're all going to cut ties to me now if I don't do something. Even if they want to blame me for everything, this was all your fault to begin with.
If you're still blaming me at this point in time, that must mean your brain has completely stopped working.
So you're going to pick on me again, huh? I hate the both of you.
And I really don't care how people as low as you think of us. It's not like you have to see us ever again, right?
Well, if you don't want us seeing you ever again, then stop trying to make us pay for that wedding.
That has nothing to do with you guys and us. That has to do with the responsibility your family now has after what you all did.
If this is how you're going to treat me, then I'm going to go online and tell everyone what you've done to us. Then everyone who feels sympathy for my family and I will rally with us and make sure you pay for what you've done.
You really think there are others out there that would sympathize with you? I've already talked with plenty of people already about what you guys had done to me, and so far, not a single one of them has sided with you. And what about your friends that you've spoken with? Did any of them say they felt for you?
None of them did. But that's just because they all don't understand.
That's not true. They do understand what you did, but they know better than to side with a couple of bad eggs.
You're calling us bad eggs now? All I freaking did was hit you in the face with a cake. That was it. Yet now you're taking all of that way too far.
You're asking me that? Not only did you guys deceive me and try to get my money, but in the end, the most heartbreaking thing for me of all was that you, Emmy, you ruined that dress.
Are you actually that screwed in the head? And you getting so upset over an old and stinky dress getting a little bit messy makes no sense to me.
That dress which you keep calling old and stinky and said was raggedy before, do you have any idea how expensive it is? Because if you did, you would never say anything like that about it.
You want me to tell you how much I think it's worth? At the very most, $100.
I don't think any dress could be worth that little. That dress was my grandma's, which she bought while she was on vacation in France. It's from one of the most famous brands in the world and is worth more than you've ever made in your life. Back in the day, it was worth $10,000, which in today's money is around $70,000. It's considered an antique now because that brand is no longer around, which only triples that price.
What? I never knew that.
Even if you didn't know what the price of a dress like that was, you knew just how important that dress was to me and to my family. Yet you still had the freaking nerve to ruin it in front of my whole entire family. That dress was first worn by my grandmother, and then she passed it on to my mom, who passed it on to me. Recently, my grandma hasn't been doing too well, so one of the last memories I wanted to give her was that of me wearing her wedding dress. But you came in and not only crushed my dreams, but crushed my grandma's dreams as well. I was going to refrain from trying to completely destroy you, but the moment I realized that you would never learn your lesson until the whole entire world crumpled around you, I knew I had to fight. So I'm going to make sure you pay for this dress to be cleaned.
What? What the hell? You think the cost of cleaning that dress is going to bother me? That'll only be a couple $100, right? If that's all I'm going to have to pay out of my pocket, I could do that in my sleep.
Did you already forget what I was just saying? The dress is an antique. A couple $100 to clean it up just isn't going to cut it.
What?
And if the cleaning isn't able to take care of all the staining, then what will happen? Oh, you'll have to pay for the dress that you destroyed.
No way. I already have to help pay for the wedding.
This is what you and your family asked for, though. So don't complain to me about the price that has to be paid for screwing around like that.
No. Monica, please don't be so cruel to me. I will make sure to learn my lesson and change. If I have to pay that kind of money, I'll have to go into debt. And that kind of debt at my age, my life will be over with.
You think I'm listening to you right now? You went and ruined my family's heirloom dress and laughed about it like something worth over $200,000 being ruined wasn't going to bother me. How about you go and ask your family to all take responsibility for that debt, and then you can all pay it off together?
They're not going to listen to me anymore. Monica, what do I have to do for you to get you to stop asking for us to pay you so much?
You could always off yourself. Then your family would have to pay me for everything instead, and you would no longer have to worry. But besides that, there is nothing you can do for me now. I'm a pretty heartless person after all, so those are your only options. I don't care which one you choose as long as I get the money I'm owed. Now please sit around and wait with your family while my lawyer gets all their things together and gives you guys a call. And please, don't ever call or text me again.
Hey, Monica, please. Please, no way. I don't want to have to pay that much. I can't pay that much. What should I do right now?
Today's my day off, so I'm going to come over to your guys' place for a bit.
All right. We'll be waiting for you. Your grandma is really looking forward to seeing you today.
And I can't wait to come out and see her smiling face again. But the way her dress ended up getting ruined, I feel so bad for what's happened.
Your grandma told you not to worry about any of that anymore, right? She's just happy to hear that you were able to cut ties from those monsters. And she actually believes that dress was like a blessing for you, because it showed you what evils awaited you and cleansed them from your life. I believe the same thing now too. So please stop worrying about it and focus on making a safe trip over here.
All right, I can do that. And thank you, Mom.
I know that it probably hurts to have been stabbed in the back again by a man that you loved. So for a little while, can you please just focus on what makes you happy and not finding yourself a man? You can do that for a little while, right?
Sure, I suppose I can stay single for just a little while longer. I'm not sure how things all went during that phone call between my lawyer and Jake's family, but I know that from what my lawyer told me afterwards is that not a single person was wanting to take responsibility for what had happened to the dress and to that wedding. However, when my lawyer started to go over all the things that would happen to them if they did not settle things out of court, that they'd most likely never be living free of any debt ever again. After that, it seemed as though the parents at least started to listen, but even my lawyer was a bit worried during the conversation whether or not they really understood how serious he was being. But in the end, I learned that they all did listen to what my lawyer was saying and would be willing to pay for the whole wedding and have Emmy pay for the dress. After that conversation with my lawyer, though, that family got right back to it, fighting over whose fault all of this was. And I heard that they went through weeks of fighting over who was to be held responsible and who would have to end up paying the most. At some points during their never-ending fight, the police were called because of a noise complaint and a worry that somebody in their house was being attacked. And so when the police did arrive to check up on what was going on, they saw behind Jake, who had answered the door, that Emmy had this massive black eye and was crying. Jake and his dad were placed under arrest then, under the suspicion that one of them had hurt Emmy. But it was later found out that it was Emmy's mom who did that to her, and so she would be forced to leave the house for a while to get some help. This ended up forcing Emmy to have to drop out of college and start looking for a full-time job, because she was definitely not off the hook after getting punched and was going to have to pay for that dress of mine still. And as for Jake's and her dad, he had to stop thinking about retirement and get back to work in order to help pay for the wedding he and his wife agreed was okay to ruin. Jake himself began to look bad in the eyes of all his friends when they learned the truth, forcing them all to leave his side, and soon he found he had no place at the office anymore either. This then led to him quitting his job and leaving town to find work and friends who had not heard about what happened elsewhere. A few months later, I would end up receiving the money that was asked for from the dress they ruined, and the wedding would be paid off in full. Now, whether that was all paid off using loans or using money from some other unspecified source, I'm not sure. But something tells me that the family is not going to have a great future anymore. As for myself and what happened after, I got back to working hard and saved up more money. And while I was working a lot more again, I went out for lunch with some of my old colleagues whom I hadn't had time to talk with for so long. He never really knew anything about my family and their wealth, but still treated me with the respect I knew that I deserved. So after a few months of him and I just chatting at work and going out for lunch, my heart started to beat more vigorously again. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Mandy, how late are you going to be out tonight? You hurry back to this house right now and start making me something to eat. Because you've been out of the house all day, my stomach has been in pain waiting for you to come back and cook. You really are the most useless woman ever if you're willing to let an older woman starve because you want to be out of the house all the time. I have been acting like your parent this whole time, so come home and show me the respect I deserve. I am starving.
I'm sorry, Isla, but I'm at the hospital right now, though. I've had to stay here a bit later than I was expecting, so I won't be home until late tonight. Could you please make something for yourself?
Huh? The hospital? Why are you, of all people, at the hospital right now?
You're asking me why I'm here? Because just a little while ago, you came at me with a boiling hot cup of tea and threw it on my face. And because of that, my right eye has had a really hard time staying open due to the swelling. The doctor has already had a look at it and said that it might be very difficult for me to see out of my right eye for a while after today.
And what does that have to do with me?
What?
I don't care about any of that. Now you get your butt home right now and start making me dinner. You are so stupid. Who do you think you are going to the hospital like that without my permission first anyway? I don't ever remember saying I was okay with you leaving this house. Now you get back here. Now!
I'm sorry, Miranda. While texting with you, I was asked by the doctor to go with him and have some more exams done on me. He's done everything he can and gave me some medication and wraps to use to help my face, and I'm sorry.
It's about time. Making me wait an hour for a response like that. I can't believe you did all of that without telling me. You really are nothing but trouble, Mandy.
I'm sorry for leaving the house without your permission. But Miranda, why did you come out of nowhere with scalding hot tea and throw it at my face? Tell me, what did I end up doing wrong that required you to do such a thing to me?
You're asking me? Mandy! I threw that tea at your face because you said you were going to that wedding.
What?
You were going on about it being your little brother's wedding or something like that. But that would mean you'd leave this house, you stupid idiot. That's why I had to discipline you. You deserve to have your face burned and right eye screwed up.
You can't be serious. That is my little brother, my one and only brother, and one of the last members of my family. That's why I wanted to go to his wedding.
Shut your mouth right now. I will not take that kind of talk from a complete stranger like you. I will have you thrown out of this house if you think you can slack off from your chores to be at your little brother's wedding. Now, if you still have any plans to go there, then go right ahead. But you will not be coming back to this house.
Understood. I'm sorry.
Don't you ever show me that kind of poor behavior ever again.
Kyle, there's something I'm kind of wanting to ask you right now.
Oh, Mandy, why are you texting me this late at night?
This has to do with your wedding tomorrow, actually. At the moment, I have a lot of bandaging around my face, covering my right eye. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people asking a lot of questions about me, and I might be taking their attention away from you, but would it still be okay for me to attend?
What? Your face is all bandaged up. What happened to you, Mandy? Did you get into a serious accident or something?
I really don't think I could call it an accident, but...
You're lying about that, right? There's no way. That's completely messed up. Nothing about that is normal for someone in your shoes to have to go through. Mandy, how are you normally being treated over at that household?
How am I normally being treated? I like to think this is how things are for me every day.
Are you kidding? So you're telling me things like sustaining second and third degree burns on your face due to your mother-in-law is a common occurrence there?
Well, I'm sure what happens here isn't right. Actually, this was the first time I'd been hurt this badly by her. Normally, she'd just be pushing me down the stairs or throwing away my cooking and making me start again. There have also been times where she'd lock me in my room for a day or two.
She would lock you in your room for a day or two? None of that is anywhere close to normal, and it's outright dangerous. That is all absolutely screwed up what you're having to go through. Nothing about that is normal. And what happened to your husband? He's living there with you as well, right? Has he not been saying anything to his mom about how she's treating you?
All he says to me is that things were a lot worse for him when he was younger, so I'm actually being treated pretty nicely by her.
Huh?
Well, I was always a little bit spoiled when I was younger, right? And that can be seen by how useless I am now, right? Well, my mother-in-law has stepped in for Mom and Dad and has been raising me the right way by disciplining me.
Wait a second. Are you actually being serious right now, Mandy?
Yes. I'm actually really thankful for what my mother-in-law has done for me. However, she told me that if I go to your wedding tomorrow, she would have me exiled from her house. And I'd never be able to go back there. Oh, that's left me feeling a little bit confused now. What should I do now? I'm not feeling good about either choice I have. I can't believe that someone as kind as her would say she'd have me exiled from her house like that.
Mandy, pull yourself together, please.
What?
Look, you and I, for the longest time now, we've both been raised with very different views of things from everyone else, right? I mean, Mom and Dad both beat us a lot when we were younger, and that's why we feel like we were always the bad children, and they were perfectly good parents. We never had the luxury of having loving parents, and we're told that all of our family members outside the house were fake and just trying to tempt us away from them, right?
Well, they were, and that's why Mom and Dad never let us meet with any of them, because they were too kind.
Well, that was all wrong!
What do you mean?
My wife, when she learned about how much hell I'd been through at home, she made sure to show me what a true, loving family was. She and her parents both gave me the warmth that my body had been needing from a family all my life. Right now, I'm living with my wife's parents, right? Well, they have both done all they could to show me what having real, caring parents is like, and I thank them every day for that. When I come home to them, I scream out that I'm home, and they greet me with hugs and kisses. That's the way normal families should be.
There's no way. That can't be true, right?
I'm sure that's what you want to think, right? All right, I get it. At the moment, you don't want to go home to your family, right?
Not really. Actually, I don't think I can because of what my mother-in-law said.
Then you come to our house. I just spoke with my mother-in-law, and she said it was totally okay for you to come here and stay the night with us. She said she'd even get the bath all warmed up and ready, although you might not want to go in if your face is burnt.
What?
You're still out and not near your in-laws' house, right? If you tell me where you're at, I can ask my father-in-law to drive us out to come get you. So please, tell me, Mandy.
How long have you been out of this house now without coming back? It's because you've been gone for so long now that the house is a mess. I'll forgive you for not coming home at all and making me my early morning breakfast if you come home right now, you idiot woman.
I'm no longer going back to that house.
Huh? Do you have any idea what you're saying right now?
Today, I'll be at my little brother's wedding. Here, I'll be meeting with my real family and enjoying their presence. I even stayed with some of them last night, and that's where I learned what a true family is like, and how horrible things have been in that toxic environment you call home.
What are you going on about right now? I am not here to listen to you go on about your delusions, so get home and start doing the chores right now.
I am not going back. And since I'm a complete stranger, like you said, there is nothing I'm attached to there anymore.
Huh?
A while back, you threatened to have your son divorce me and even went out to get all of the divorce papers filled out and ready to hand into the courthouse, right? Well, I took those from you after that day and had been holding on to them every day since. And just a little bit ago, I went and dropped them off at the courthouse before making my way to this wedding. So I'm no longer a part of your family, fair and square.
What did you say?
I am no longer your son's wife, which means that you and I are now legally strangers to one another. I may have spent years taking loads of crap from you guys in that house, but I finally had enough of it last night and will no longer call myself your family. From now on, I'd like for you all to rot in hell there. I'm going to make sure that those years of pain and torture you all put me through is thrown right back at you.
It's freaking pathetic watching you say things that don't make any sense at all to me. Did you seriously get a divorce from my son? I don't remember ever saying that you leaving my son was okay. I will not let you get away with doing something as selfish as that. Since I've been asking for you to come home all week, yet you haven't made even a single attempt to, I'm having all your things thrown out of your room right now. All of those lovely photos of you and your little brother together will all be thrown into the trash out back and burned up later. Is that really okay with you, Mandy? I'm sure that would break your heart, wouldn't it? Since you're now aware of what I'm willing to do, get your butt back to this house right now. If not even this is enough to make you understand just how much of a screw-up you've been, then I'll have to take even more drastic measures.
Go ahead. If you want to toss all my things, be my guest.
Huh? Do you have any idea what I'm saying? These are not just empty threats coming from me.
I don't really care, honestly. It's not like I ever had much to begin with. Also, there are no photos of me and my little sister over at your house.
What?
My family wasn't the best when I was growing up anyway, so I never had many photos of my brother and I taken when we were together. I'm sure the only reason you're trying to make threats like that towards me now is because you guys are in dire need of a working drone again, right? Well, I'm not going back to that life.
Oh, just get your ass back here right now! The inside of this house is a dang mess, and I will not let it stay this way any longer.
Then how about you get back to it and clean your house up yourself? On another note, the bank will be asking you guys to pay off the rest of the loan here soon, so please do what you can to pay it off.
Huh? A loan? What the hell are you going on about now?
Both that house you all have been living in and the car that you guys have been using were bought with loans, right? And my husband has been forcing me to pay off both of those loans by myself. He told me that since I was the one working, I should be the one to pay off things in the house.
And that makes total sense to me. Since you were going to continue working after marrying my son, then you should be putting all that money into the house and family. Yes, and I totally agree with that. Hence why I would put the $2,500 I made each month into the house. Yet that wasn't even enough, so I had to start using up my savings and putting in another $500 every month, making a total of $3,000. But now that I'm a complete stranger to all of you, there's no reason for me to be paying anymore, right? I want for you guys who are still living there and who are still using that car to pay instead of me. Every month you were putting $3,000 into this house? There's no way we can cover that every month for you. I want to know why you were even having to pay that much. Are you trying to lie to me now in order to make yourself look good? No, I think you've just forgotten is all. After you went and had the inside of the house completely remodeled and then all brand new furniture placed inside, the price of things went way up. And then you said when getting a new car that you wanted the most expensive SUV they had on the lot, which only made us have to get a bigger loan. Neither the house or that car are mine though, so there's literally no reason for me to have to pay for them anymore. If you're not going to be able to pay off the rest of those loans, then sell the house and the car. That will be your worst case scenario, I'm sure. I am not screwing around right now. Why do we have to do all of that now? We are not paying for any of this. You are going to be paying for the rest of this house and car, whether you like it or not. Mandy, why are you being such a child about all of this? Stop being such an embarrassment and come here right now to help us. Good morning, Miranda. And what could you be going on about today? Don't you play dumb with me. I just got a call from the police explaining to me that I am a suspect in a crime and need to follow up with them. All I did was discipline you, all right? I can't believe that someone your age isn't aware of the most basic things, and I feel so bad for you because of that. Oh, so that's what you're upset about. Well, that was me who informed the police about what happened. Well, you tell those police to leave me alone and then come back here and pay up. You're screwed in the head if you think that I am a criminal. Actually, the reason I think you're a criminal is because you are one. And so I had to tell the police about what you'd done. Huh? Even if it wasn't as bad as I first thought, you still assaulted me. There have also been cases of abuse within your house, both verbally and physically. Had I not told the police, then I would have never been able to live with the things that have happened to me. Of course, before I was able to live with what you'd done to me because I thought that was all normal. But now I am very much aware that what happened to me was anything but. So now I'm going to make sure your crimes are handled in a professional and legal way. You hold it right there. I haven't done any of those things to you. Stop trying to frame me for something I haven't done. Actually, you have done plenty of terrible things to me now, and that's why the police are taking all of this very seriously. All because you seem to think that me working a full-time job wasn't enough, and that I had to be home to take care of all the house as well for you all. Then there were times you'd run your mouth about how my cooking was terrible and toss it all. Do you have any idea how much food you've wasted? I put in so much work making food for you and everyone else, yet there were times you wouldn't even try it, instead calling it disgusting before throwing it all away. It's your fault for making such tasteless food for a household of classy eaters. Honestly, I just thought you were always trying to make food for us with leftovers. You can't call what I did a crime when it was only the natural thing for me to do. You really think I'm complaining about that alone? Excuse me? All those days you'd have guests over, I had to be the one to prepare everything. And if there was ever anything wrong, even if it was the slightest mistake regarding those preparations, you'd start to hit me in the back with a broom close to 100 times. Then there were days you wouldn't let me eat anything while locking me in a room. Sometimes that would be for a few hours and other times a few days. There were plenty of times I thought I was going to die in that house. But I had no idea what a good family was and thought the way I was being treated was normal at the time. I always thought there was something wrong with me because my parents spoiled me with the ideas that everything was my fault. And you're right to think that because how you've been treated is normal. I've now had to take on the responsibility of disciplining a useless and dumb woman. And that means you have no right to be complaining about any of it. But the thing is, your house has been anything but normal. When I told my little brothers-in-law all about what happened there, they were all up in arms. And do you want to know what my brother's wife said? She said that the fact my own husband wouldn't even step in to protect me from you shows that he is messed up as well. She told me that my husband most likely didn't even love me. My brother's wife was furious to learn about what happened. And because of that, I finally realized that my husband wasn't meant for me. Having a family of people who had nothing to do with me worrying so much finally opened my eyes to what the problems were. Everything that you guys had been doing to me was all criminal and has to be dealt with. What the actual hell is this? I have no idea what's going on. You have been brainwashed by these fools. Brainwashed! You've just been lied to by this family of heathens, and now you're having these strange delusions about what a family should really be. Don't call my brother and his family heathens. What? They gave me a place to stay when I worried about going back home to you. And they all listened to me and my concerns when I was about to break down and cry. They were all strangers to me who I had never even met before. Yet they were all worried about me and asked me over and over about what happened. This was the first time in my life where I had people around me who showed that they were really upset about what happened and wanted me to feel loved. I can worry about you too. That's the whole reason I've started to message you like this in the first place. The only thing you're worried about right now is the fact that you no longer have a slave in that house, right? I have finally been given the gift of love from a group of strangers and will no longer be going back to the place where I was abused. And until you all have paid for the pain you brought me, I am not ending my talks with the police. I'm not some doll you all can get away with beating up now. Huh? Don't talk back to me like that. Especially when you're the most useless and stupid woman to ever walk this earth. Say whatever you'd like about me, but I am never going to feel scared and saddened about the things you say to me anymore. I'm going to make sure that in order to save everyone else from having to suffer through your guys' hell, that you are all crushed and can no longer get up. If you think you can do anything to us, then show me. The most a weakling like yourself could possibly do to us is make us laugh. I'll show you, though. I'll make you regret ever baring your teeth like that to me. Hey, stop acting like a child and respond to me right now. What happened to all that power you had yesterday? You've always acted like a coward, so I'm sure there's no more fight left within you now. But I've had enough from you, so be ready for the beating of a lifetime. I'll make sure to discipline you with every bit of my body so that you will never be able to talk back to me ever again.
Hello. Sorry for using my older sister's phone. I'm her little brother, Kyle. My sister has had to spend years dealing with abusers and is now sound asleep, finally getting some good sleep at this house. That's why I'll be talking with you right now and letting her sleep in this morning.
Huh? So you're going to be taking her place talking to me then? You have the same blood as that useless woman, so I'm sure you're just as pathetic, right? I'm sure whatever you have to say to me means nothing at all, so get your sister to talk to me right now or I swear I'll...
And why should I have to listen to what a criminal wants? I'll make sure to have our lawyer get in touch with you soon so you can have the much more serious talk with them. And if you're still talking like that, then good luck getting out of this mess you've created.
What the... You guys have a lawyer now?
Well, of course. Mandy needs to make sure she has someone to support her when asking for a settlement from you. And I'll have you know this right now. My sister is not changing her mind on what she wants from you. So I would highly recommend you and your family start working together with a lawyer if you hope to have any chance of lessening your punishments.
Wait just a second. Why are you talking about something like that right now? A lawyer? A settlement? All of that is the kind of stuff you only hear about in dramas.
Well, unfortunately, right now we're dealing with a lot of drama, so this has to happen. What you did to my sister was all crimes, and some of those could have very well been considered life-threatening crimes. I think she has every right to have you all pay her a settlement for the damages and ask that the judge sentence you to some time. I'm hoping that she gets away with pulling a massive settlement from you before you go.
I'm not taking this from my daughter-in-law. I won't let her take anything from me or send me to prison. And having to pay for a lawyer would be a complete waste of our money. Eliana doesn't even have any money left either, so how is she paying for a lawyer in the first place?
Ah, if that's what concerns you, just know that my family is paying for her lawyer.
What?
My wife happens to be a lawyer herself, so she was able to find someone in his firm that could help us at a reduced cost. Actually, the man she's found for Mandy is one of the best lawyers in this city when it comes to things like domestic harassment and assault.
Your wife is a lawyer?
Yes, which means she is friends with a lot of the police force and has friends who are detectives as well. She's already got in touch with one of his detective friends, and they've begun to investigate your family to make sure they have accounts of all the things you've done. We already assumed we'd find lots of things like assault and harassment within your family based on what Mandy told us. But who knew you guys were also known for theft and scamming? Seems you guys have been on the run from all of that, too?
You guys were able to find out about all of that as well?
Of course! But you guys were able to run away before the police or anyone could find you, until now. So don't be surprised when the police begin to ask about that later as well, and the judge, of course. We've already told the police about it with the evidence we found, so it's only a matter of time before they come to your house. Be prepared to be taken into their custody soon.
Wait a second, please. You're only causing my head to spin more and more by saying that, so can we please discuss this in...
We're not discussing anything with you anymore. We don't want to be in close proximity to those that not only assault and harass, but rob and scam people as well. It's time for you to be judged for your crimes, right? And once you've had to pay my sister for everything you've done to her, I believe you and your family will be losing everything. Normally, that would leave you on the streets with nothing at all, but luckily, you'll be in prison after paying, so you'll still be fed and housed.
If that happens to me, I won't have a life after getting out. I don't care what all we did. You shouldn't be wanting to send us to jail, right? Do something to stop those police. If you let us all fall, then we'll never be able to get back up.
After all those years of hurting my sister under your oppression, what makes you think I'm listening to you now? This is what you deserve for your crimes, so take it on the chin like an adult and stop being such a problem for everyone. You're nothing more than monsters. I won't let you do any of that crap to anyone ever again. Are you all right, Mandy? I'm glad to hear that your fever has gone down some, but if you want to eat something, please let me know. I can make you something up right now or order something. If you want some ice cream or some jelly, let me know, please.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm sorry for leaving everything up to you in the end like that after passing out. I really am so weak.
What are you saying, Mandy? Your body is so beat up right now that I'd want you going to a hospital if I could have my way. When this is all over with, we're taking you to see a doctor, okay? We need to make sure there isn't something worse going on inside you and that it will all heal with rest and time.
I'm sorry this has all had to happen right after your wedding.
Stop apologizing to me for everything, okay? Also, this is me paying you back.
What?
The one who had always been protecting me from Mom and Dad back in the day was you. You also handled things like my college fees and telling Mom and Dad off when they came looking for me. I know that you've pretty much been doing everything to take care of me.
You knew about all of that?
I'm your little brother, aren't I? Of course I'd find out who was taking care of me like that when it's my own sister. I want to say, you have been working so hard all your life for other people besides yourself. So from here on out, let me care for you. I'm not your little brother hiding behind your back anymore.
That's very true. I can't believe you grew up so fast without me ever noticing. I'm so happy.
Come on now, stop talking like you're my mother or something.
I'm sorry. Someday I'm going to have to thank you properly for all of this.
And I'm telling you, you don't have to. All I ask is that you focus on getting better again. You've put up a fight for long enough now, and it's your time to relax. So from now on, if you're starting to feel unwell or sick, let me know, and I'll be there for you. When you passed out like that, I was freaking out.
Sorry about that. I didn't think that I'd be making all of you worry about me like that. I've always been so used to having to care for myself on my own, so when I saw all of you worrying about me, I had no idea what to do.
I'm sure you're still thinking about everything you'll have to do after today, but look, think of the time you have right now as rehabilitation. You don't have to overwork or anything, just as long as you take the time to feel better again.
That's true, actually. I'll think of things like that then.
See, I want you to start right now learning how to relax and let others do things for you. Actually, I want you to tell me right now how you feel about me. You've never said anything about how you think of me before, right? So give it a try right now.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever spoken out about anyone. Saying this right now is going to be a bit embarrassing. But if I don't say anything, you'll never know, right? So I'll say it. Thank you so much, and I love you a ton, Kyle. In the end, everyone in Miranda's family was arrested by the police and taken to jail, where they all awaited their court hearings. There, I was able to get a settlement from both Miranda herself and my ex-husband, which ended up being for more than they had combined in their bank accounts. Iris was also charged with multiple accounts of assault and 2 charges of attempted murder, while the whole family was charged with things like robbery, grand theft auto, and fraud. And just like I had told Miranda, they all would end up going to prison to do some time, which is actually lucky for them considering they had to sell their house in order to pay those settlements off. So better there than nowhere at all. I think that my ex and his dad would be getting around 5 years in total, while Iris got 15 years, which at her age is pretty much a wrap. I can definitely say one thing though, and that's that she will never be hurting anyone again, and I'm sure the same can be said for my ex too. My brother was very happy with the end results, and I think his whole family was cheering when the trial and everything was over and finished in my favor. When that was all done, we went out for dinner at a 5-star hotel outside town, where I got to have my first ever course dinner and have food cooked for myself for once. I told everyone that since I'd been getting a lot of money from Miranda and them, I'd pay for everyone's dinner. But the moment I brought that up to the family, every single person said no to me in unison, which just goes to show I'm in good hands now. As for myself, I was originally thinking that after my body had healed up and I got most of my sight back in my right eye, I'd leave my brother's family's house. But none of them wanted me leaving their house just yet, and instead chose to have me hired as their part-time housemaid. I am having to do a lot of the chores and cooking I was doing before. However, this time I was being paid to do them while also being thanked and not having to worry about being hurt in any way. My body still has a ways to go in terms of healing, as my face is still getting some work done on it through grafting and having the wraps replaced. However, the doctor did say that in a few more weeks I could keep them off and start taking showers and things like that again. I also ended up going to see the doctor for a full body exam a week after everything was settled. And there I learned that I had broken one of my ribs at one point, but it was all healed up now and not worth worrying about. I was also told to start taking large amounts of vitamin D, since it had been a long time since I last went into the sun and was starting to feel that for sure. All in all, though, my body did end up holding itself together pretty well, and the doctor told me that within a couple of months I should be feeling 100%, as long as I kept on getting the sleep I needed and resting a lot. Right now, I think I'm feeling the happiest I have ever felt, and it only took me close to 30 or so years.
Ava, are you planning on coming to my wedding? With a face like that?
Just like always, you're coming back to be rude to me even more. I do plan on going to your wedding. And congratulations on getting proposed to. You are family to me now, so it's pretty obvious that I'd be going to see your wedding. And I was the one that showed you the location of where you're planning to hold your wedding, right?
And so what? And the only reason you showed me the wedding hall to have a wedding is because you do a business with that place. So stop trying to act all cool about doing that when it was nothing more than you helping them make more money.
I'm not trying to get some sort of praise from you or anything. I was just stating that I know where the wedding will occur. And another thing, at the moment I'm the one that's paying for your wedding until you have the money to pay me back, right? So just with that alone, I'd love it if you could thank me or something.
And I told you I will pay you back, so don't worry. Others will be giving me money as gifts for my wedding, so just wait until I get all of that. And for the savings I have right now, they need to be used for other purposes, so I can't repay you with that.
And have you told Drew about that yet? Drew told me that your husband would be the one to pay for things like that, but that's all a lie, right?
I'm not lying about anything. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't worried about anything regarding me. That's just what I want Drew thinking for a little while, so don't do anything unnecessary that could make him think otherwise.
Anything unnecessary? Him and I are married now, Evelyn. I understand that this whole event is for our family and we wouldn't want to make any issues, but I'm still not fully sure whether you're up to something else behind all of our backs right now.
Well, Ava, you're a pretty ugly woman.
Wait, what?
Do you think that it's okay for someone who's ugly to come to my wedding? I want to make sure that my whole wedding is 100% perfect for all my guests. And if someone with the looks of you came into it, then the whole event would be ruined.
How much longer are you going to keep making such rude comments about my face being less than ideal for you? I guess I can expect that sort of stuff to continue from you, though. Do you tell Drew about all the things you say to me? Have you told him that you're not inviting his wife to the wedding because she's ugly?
If I said that to him, I'd be hurting his feelings, so I'll never tell him that. Of course, telling him the truth would be a lot easier.
You should never say something like that, though. If you're worried about hurting someone's feelings with the things you say, then why do you keep making rude comments about me? Up to now, you have hurt my feelings plenty of times.
Well, because you've helped out with my wedding and planning it out, I'm thankful. But because of your less than beautiful looks, I want you to stay away from it.
You're being awful right now, Evelyn. You can stop trying to tell me to stay away, all right? Go and tell your brother all these sorts of things and see what he says.
I tried warning you plenty of times not to come, Ava, but you never heeded any of them. And you probably just thought that I was bluffing. If this has helped you understand that you're an ugly and depressing woman, then get up and go home.
I've had enough. You are worse than I thought. You pushed me into that fountain at the wedding reception all because you hate the looks of your brother's wife for no good reason. That right there has pushed me to my limits with you.
And I told you that all ugly people were to stay out of my wedding. Hurry up and go away. You're dripping wet now, and I don't want you causing any slip hazards for my invited guests.
I can see that you think you're all that because it's your wedding day and you want me to be gone. But do you understand just how regretful you're going to be because of all that you've done to me?
Regretful? I'll never regret a thing about today. All I did just then was help get rid of an ugly duckling. Everyone knows that I was in the right for doing that.
Well, if you're so confident in that, then that's great for you. I can see now that no matter what I try and say to you, you're never going to actually think about it. I'm giving up on you now, you old, hopeless hag!
Excuse me? Why are you being so rude to me now?
Because after all this time I'd been so considerate of you when you've been rude to me. You are my brother's older sister after all, and I tried my best to just ignore all the hateful things that have come out of your mouth. But I seriously cannot handle you anymore.
Well, I've been trying my best with you.
How?
I've actually never really thought of you as part of my family, even after marrying my brother. And because you came into my wedding today without considering the consequences, I had to push you into the fountain. There's no way that someone dripping wet would be allowed to stay here, so hurry up and go.
Then I will go.
See ya. Never, you gross loser.
Going as far as you have has really shown me your true colors. But since you still can't seem to realize the consequences of all this, then I'm just going to shut up and leave. But don't you ever forget that this wedding hall was all put together with the help of the company I work for.
Huh? And what does that have to do with anything?
You'll know soon enough.
Hey, Eva. Can you reply to me, please? Right now they're saying that this whole wedding is being cancelled and have started to clean up.
Well, that would happen. I told them to cancel it before I left.
Huh? What the heck are you talking about, Ava? If you let them keep doing this, then my whole wedding is going to be over.
And that's just too bad, right? But if you think about what you've done to me, it's only natural. You cared way too much about your little brother's feelings, and to make sure that your wedding that you haven't even paid for yet was perfect, you pushed me, the one paying for it, into that fountain. None of what you'd been doing was okay.
Hold on a second. There's no way you can just cancel my wedding while it's still going on, right? Right now my husband is pissed.
Is that so? I'm sure he would be when he has no clue as to why this is all happening yet. But I have nothing to do with the aftermath of all this, so don't bother me with it.
You can't just run away from this.
Well, I am a stranger to you, right? You told me that you don't regard me as family. And for a while now, I had been worried a lot about Drew. But I can no longer think of you as being family to me.
Come back here.
What?
Please, come back here so that we can all avoid being embarrassed. So please come back. If we can't get this wedding back on the road, then I'll be in hot water. Hurry up and get back here. Explain all of this to my husband for me.
I'm going to just ignore that very selfish request of yours, okay?
Huh? Why?
Also, as for the money you had asked me to give you to pay for that wedding, I'd like all $50,000 of it back very soon from you.
What? Huh?
That's what it cost for your wedding and all that came with it. And you asked me to pay for it at first, and that you'd repay the $50,000 to me after the wedding. So give it all back to me right now. I want it. And now that your wedding has been canceled, you have to pay the cancellation fees as well. I'm not going to be the one to pay those fees, but I still want my money back now. And I will not let you run away from me.
There's no way I can give you all of that money right now. Are you being serious with me?
Why wouldn't I be, you filthy grandma?
Huh?
You had no right calling me ugly and pushing me into that fountain when you had to borrow money from me to have the whole wedding. I've really been thinking about what could have been wrong with your head. But anyway, I want that money now.
But I don't have that kind of money on me right now. And also having my wedding cancelled on me is not okay. I had finally made it into my wedding day, and now it's all being ruined.
You must have forgot all the strings I had to pull to allow your wedding to be held here. I mean, if you knew that and still pushed me into the fountain, then you must seriously need some mental help.
I knew about all of that. Why would I have ever forgotten about something like that? But I thought that that would have had nothing to do with me. I can thank you for getting me this beautiful place to have my wedding and all, but I never thought you could easily cancel the wedding on me as well. I just never thought that you'd actually do something so horrible to me.
Well, it had to happen after you decided to get me drenched while in my dress. I'd stop trying to make excuses for all of that now, okay? You should know by now that this is all due to you, right?
I'm tired of texting you about this, so just come back here, please. If you want me to apologize for what happened, I'll apologize. Really, what do you want to happen after all of this?
Huh? What do I want to happen?
I'm just asking that you come back here and make things right for me so that we can continue the wedding, right? So you can stop acting like a crybaby and come back here. I'll apologize if that's what you're wanting.
You are actually brain dead, you hag.
Huh? Brain dead? Don't you think you're going too far?
Even though you're the one that's been taking it too far for a while now? Calling me ugly and a loser all the time has driven me up the wall. If you have the time to be calling me names all day long, then maybe you had the time to rethink what you were doing and make a change for the better. Your wedding is canceled, you pile of garbage.
You don't have to tell me things like that, right? What are you trying to say that I did? What's wrong with me calling you ugly all the time?
Well, then never ask me for money again. And don't bother with me handling your wedding for you anymore. I don't want to be around people that think it's okay to call others ugly. All you've done is made me feel as though I've wasted a lot of my time and money now. And I don't want that kind of relation with you anymore. So give me back my money and let your wedding be canceled.
Are you really that upset with me?
Oh, come on now! You forget that you pushed me into a fountain full of cold water? It'd be scary if you did manage to forget that so easily. Not only that, but you also have been calling me ugly forever now, and you made that your reason for kicking me out of the wedding. But seriously, you pushing me into that fountain because of my looks was the last straw for me. I'm not going to ever forgive you for that, and things between you and I are over. I am not coming back to your demolished wedding. I've already told everyone there that the wedding is canceled, and they gotten to work on taking it all down. And I plan to tell my husband everything about what happened between you and I.
Wait. What do you mean you plan to tell him everything? What the heck do you plan on telling him?
I'll tell him about how you pushed me into the water and then kicked me out of your wedding. And of course about all the other things you've said to me. I didn't want to tell him about us before either because, like you, I didn't want him worrying about us. You also told me to never tell him anything, and had you just let me be at your wedding, I never would have planned on telling him. But now things have changed, and I've had enough! After this, I'm cutting ties with you! Isn't that just fantastic for you?
That's not fantastic at all. And about my brother, he wouldn't stop talking about you any time he was around me. It was disgusting, and he was supposed to be my precious little brother, but you stole him from me.
But there is a limit to how far you can take that hate you had stored up for me.
I know that. I can see now that what I did was not right. You could say that I was just getting frustrated is all. I was hoping that at some point you'd leave my brother because of me.
We are married now, but all you could think of was having us divorce? I'm sorry, but him and I have never thought about divorce. But now that you've said that about us, I'm going to leave you for good. Is that okay with you?
But if you leave me now, then what will happen to my wedding?
Well, it'll stay canceled, won't it? You'll have to start from step one again and look for a new place to have your wedding at. But if you give me all my money back, I might rethink things.
That's screwed up, Ava. You and I are family, right? Don't you think you can cut that sort of crap with me since we're pretty much sisters? You're supposed to love and help your family, right?
I'm starting to feel that you have some sort of short-term memory loss that's at the bottom of all this. I'm sorry, but I cannot be asked with you anymore. I just don't get what is going on in that head of yours, and I don't want to anymore. So go right ahead and say whatever you'd like about me. I've told your husband now that your wedding is permanently canceled. And this might be the end of your marriage to him now as well.
Don't say those terrible things. Don't just throw me away. If my wedding really does end up being canceled today, I'll be causing a lot of problems for my parents, right? Are you happy letting those problems affect my parents?
I'm not happy about it, but I've already explained what happened to them as well.
Huh?
There were some people that watched you push me into the fountain. And your parents have already apologized to me for that. And after talking with Drew, he agrees that the both of us should cut ties with you for good.
You told Drew already? How much further are you planning to take all of this?
I'm not taking this any farther than you already have. You're the one that started all of this, and you're the one that brought it all to this point. This is great, right? You'll never have to see your ugly sister-in-law again. I'm glad about this myself. I'm finally able to say goodbye to one of the most heartless and gross women I've ever had the misfortune of calling family. Now, have a wonderful life with your husband. In the end, the wedding was officially canceled and taken apart. Evelyn's husband ended up being furious, and she was forced to apologize to both him and all of his family members that had traveled to see the wedding. And it seems that now, even their marriage is on the line. Drew was in shock over what his sister had done, and after talking with his parents about what to do about her, they all agreed to cut ties to her. Also, the money that Evelyn still had to repay Ava and the cost of the dress that she ruined by pushing her into the water were both to be paid in a settlement that Ava made. But Evelyn had been thrown out by everyone, and she tried her hardest to apologize to Ava. However, Ava ended up blocking her and told her lawyer to make sure that money was repaid before the end of the month. I'm sure that will be hard for Evelyn to deal with now, but perhaps it's time she takes a loan to repay Ava, and then changes her rotten character into something a bit more acceptable before trying to get back out there and working to pay off the loan.